We back. We're doing the Inglewood podcast once again, coming to you live and direct. Hopefully to engage you and give some information that would be really interesting and fun. I'm Hoopie. Charley Mack is my co-host. We got these wonderful guests, and before we introduce the topic and introduce them, I'm gonna throw it to Charley Mack. Let him holler at you.
We back in the building, y'all. That's the pilot. I'm the co-pilot. These the passengers right here. So we about to get this thing going, you guys. So strap those seatbelts on. And but before you do, we don't own the right to this music, you dig? But we gonna show a groove to it, ain't that right, Cam?
Yes, sir.
Y'all with me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So without further ado, strap them on tight.
Well said, bro. Well said. Want to say thanks to the Coalesce Group for allowing us to partner with you and be a part of your brand. Want to say thanks to Food After Burn, Clothing Club, all that you're doing to address women and young girls. It's an honor to share this platform with you. And to you, our viewing audience, we just want to say thanks for tuning in. We want to ask that you would like, subscribe, and share this content. Hopefully, someone else will be enthusiastic about receiving the content and moving forward. It's good to be back in the studio. We got some guests in the house. And we talked about a few things that really require feedback. And we were able to throw the topic out, have some discussion. But now that, Charley Mack has gone out and done some proper recruiting. I was excited when he told me that shit, because I wasn't having good luck.
You gotta leave it up to me to do the dirty work.
I knew he could get it done. So but this is interesting because we did talk about it in the past, and so I'm just gonna introduce it, and hopefully we can create some dialogue from it. But this was something that we had discussed in one of the former previous episodes, and it was the misinterpretation of black men in relationships. The misinterpretation of black men in relationships. And I know that says a whole lot. That's just not, narrowed down to one thing. However, I'm really interested in hearing your perspective and view, because we talked about this and we've discussed it many, many times, just over the years, right? And so it might be logical to me and him, but to hear it out of the horse's mouth, and not referring to you guys as horses, but just to hear it from you, I think it's going to be really good for the viewing audience. So, Mac, if you want to say something before, or you can ask your first question. I don't know how you want to do it, but if you want to engage it, then I'll pitch my first question to them.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and let you do it, and you can go ahead and pitch the first question, and after that, the ladies can start flowing.
Okay.
But why don't you ladies introduce yourself first?
Yep.
What's your name?
Okay, I'm Shatika. I go by Tika.
Okay.
Tika.
Tika.
What about you? What's your name?
I'm Tracy.
Okay. What you go? You go by something? Just Tracy? Okay, cool. All right, so that's all we wanted. We wanted the ladies to introduce themselves first. We didn't want you guys sitting up here like, well, who the hell are they? So now you guys got their names. So go ahead, Cam. You can go ahead and kind of,
Okay. The other thing was this. Before I asked the first question, we know that there's a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of qualifications. There's a lot of things that I think we all, as young adults, look for, especially when we're engaging as men and women, right? So I want to ask the first question to Tracy. Do you believe in love?
Do I believe in love? Yes, I believe in love.
Okay. What about you?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, the perspective that most men get is that love has many variations, and we do know, typically and even by definition, there are many facets of love. Okay, now when we speak of love in these relationships between men and women, what is the ideal emotion and feeling that you guys want to experience? More so than what you actually experience. What is that thing that you really want to experience, since you believe in love?
In regards to love, like your definition of what love means to you or you,
Right.
what do you get out of that? Miss Tika. No, you going first, Miss Tika. Oh, you going first.
You know what? Well, you know what? First, it has to be somebody that I'm looking forward to seeing. Like, let's say, we have our jobs and our lives, and if I'm looking forward to seeing that person or talking to that person, just to tell them about my day or whatever, and still getting those butterflies.
Okay.
Things like that. But it also has to be someone I'm comfortable with, that I feel comfortable enough to just be myself around.
Well, you probably wouldn't have married him if.
Right, exactly.
Right.
You wouldn't. Mhm.
Okay. What about you, Miss Tracy? Or they call you something else?
T.
Okay, Miss T.
I'm just saying.
Give it to us, Lady T. So how do you feel about that?
For me, kind of what Tika said, but for me, I'm thinking about that person like all day, every day. Like they consume and occupy all my thoughts.
I got you.
And they're the person like, okay, I can't wait to talk to them. Why haven't they called? Why haven't they texted?
Okay.
Or something of that nature. Oh, I'll text them or I'll call them. But it has to be, I'm there, they're there. I just gotta know that they care and that they feel the same way. But for me, I'm just all in.
Okay.
All in.
So really, and I've always thought that you can't. Well, I don't like to use the word can't. It's hard to choose who you fall in love with.
I agree with that.
Because sometimes this feeling and emotion creep up on you, and you look up, and what you perceived as a friendship and even just a social engagement, like work or working in your community or at the retail store, and all of a sudden you create this friendship, this relationship, this openness. And then one day you look up and you're like, man,
I'm in love.
Yeah, this person is.
I'm in love.
I see this person differently. I wouldn't, and sometimes it's like, I would never say that to her, or I would never say that to him, because I'm like, this person doesn't even know I even think this way, right? So with that, I think you answered the second question, which is, how is love defined for you? I think, by you guys sharing what you just shared, but if you can speak to that, how is love really defined? Once you've gotten there, or maybe before you get there, what is your perception? Because I think you spoke to it, initially. You was like, well, I get butterflies, or sometimes I'm, is that how love is defined, or does it have layers to it?
Oh, I definitely think it's layers.
What are some of those layers?
Are you on the spot, Tika?
No,
I mean, either one of you guys can jump in. I
Yeah.
mean, this is, yeah.
It was, like I think the butterfly feeling is one layer. Like, looking for just being, like Tracy said, thinking about that person all day. Just want to be with them, like making sure our schedules are like matching up to where we're gonna, we know we're gonna hang out or do something together. Shoot, what else? I mean, it's just.
I'll
over,
even
Tracy.
go beyond that. So a lot of times, or a lot of women, or I'll just use myself, I
Right.
guess. You could be dealing with other people, or you go into it saying, this is not what I'm looking for, and you're surprised because it's something that you really want, but it wasn't what you really wanted at first. But then you meet this person and it changes your perspective on what it is that you do want.
Wow.
Or maybe you're like, okay, I have friends over here or friends over here, and you get to this point and it's like, I'm done with you because this person is where I want to be.
I got you.
Yeah.
So,
So-
it's like discovery.
You're right.
It's like a matter of discovery. I think, we spoke to this before. I think you mentioned it. Is chivalry dead?
I hope it's not.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. It's just, I just think that sometimes women expect it with every person they meet. It's not going to be in there. Everybody does not have chivalry. I think
Or-
that. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Or that particular woman doesn't allow it to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so, and either one of you can answer this. What's your definition of chivalry? Because it may be different for this woman, that woman, this woman. Some women may want it. Some women may not want it. I mean, there's women who they're gonna judge a man right off the bat because he may not open her car door when he go pick her up for dinner. He may not pull her chair back when they sit down to eat. But this same man can date rape her. So what's your, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So is he still a gentleman?
Yeah.
Is chivalry still there? Because he did all the things that society says you should do as a gentleman. But this is the same guy that puts up in your drink and you date rape.
Right.
So for me, and I'm just speaking from a man's perspective, I'm going to be who I am. Whether a woman define my actions as not being a gentleman or not being whatever, but I guarantee you I know how to treat a woman. But just because I may not, when I go pick her up and let me get out of the car and open. That does not make me not being a gentleman.
Right.
Because you're going to see my actions in terms of who I am all the way around the board. So don't judge me for these things that I didn't do. So what's your definition of what you think chivalry is?
See, based off of what you just said, I don't think that. I'll just give you an example.
Okay.
Someone that I've been talking to.
Okay.
Friend. And it's funny because we kind of went into this. I always feel the best relationships start off as friendships.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Things just need to happen organically.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So, let's just say he lived a few hours away.
Okay.
So, we only see each other here and there.
Right.
When I went to go visit him, and not even expecting him to do things.
Okay.
We just hanging out or whatever. He was like, "You hungry? We about to have lunch, whatever." So I'm getting up to go follow him to his kitchen
Right.
to go, and he's like, "No, sit down."
Oh, you went to his house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll
get back to that later.
You know what?
Oh, you went to his house? Okay, we'll get back to that later. But go
okay,
ahead.
yeah, we will.
I almost forgot who my co-host was. I'm gonna spit my water out. I
Okay.
forgot.
Anyway.
But go ahead, Miss
yeah.
Tika.
And stop saying my name.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
My bad.
I'm just saying. No, and I'm not used. I don't think I can even think. I think I told Tracy. I don't know. Can't think of a time anyone ever made me lunch. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? Probably
Nice.
because I'm a mom or
Right.
I'm divorced. I've
Right.
been divorced for years, but I'm
Right.
like I've never had anybody just sat there and like, no, I
Okay.
got this. And I could tell that he wasn't doing it like trying to
Trying to
just
impress.
Right.
Right. That's just who he was.
Exactly.
Okay, solid
so
dude.
I think that's good. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, but you can see, you can
You
tell
were
the
his
difference,
guest, yeah.
right? And that's what he said. And what's
You were
funny
his
is
guest.
that's what he said. 'Cause he was kind of going back and forth. I
Trained
was
the
like, I
same
got
way.
this.
Yeah.
Right. He was like, and I can tell that
Yeah.
he was just doing it, whatever, all this stuff. But you can tell somebody, a man, that,
When they're trying or when it's just natural.
right.
Yeah.
So what about you, Miss T? What's your definition of what you think chivalry is or what it should be?
So honestly, I don't have a definition.
Okay.
I used to,
Okay.
and that's what I expected.
Okay.
But I think because I expected it, and then when it didn't happen, then I was disappointed, and perhaps I judged that person based off of that. So I have learned to not, because most of the things that they're gonna do, I could probably do for myself.
Right.
So I can't expect them to do something that maybe they don't even know that they should do or need to do, or maybe
That's
it's
good.
just not who they are.
Right.
But I know that I probably missed out on good people for making that judgment.
Okay.
And so I
That's good.
made that change. So I
Yes.
don't have an expectation.
Well, that's good.
I allow people to show me who they are.
Right.
And then I decide, yes, I want to, you or no, I don't.
See, that's good because what I'm listening to is you were accustomed to a paradigm and you experienced a paradigm shift because it wasn't, it's almost like, you know, and I'm not going to tell his age, but when I think back how, you know, I grew up and how we were developed, there were certain things that we were accustomed to, right? We grew up in a culture. And I realized that over time changed. You know, I mean, that doesn't mean that we have to fundamentally change, but some things, like you said, the expectations are not there.
Right.
People are raised differently. People, and they don't mean any harm.
Right.
They just, you know, like he was saying, you know, just because I don't open the car door doesn't mean that I don't care about you and I'm not going to protect you, you know, while we're together, you know, whatever the case may be. But I think it speaks to the relationships between black men and black women, because a lot of us as men feel that some things are either taken for granted or we're placed in a category that we don't even know about. How are we boxed into something that you have an expectation of me that you didn't even tell me about?
And I agree with that.
You know,
Because I used to do that.
right? And it's like when you talk to a woman about it, they get defensive as if, well, you know, you're just not my guy. You're just not my type of guy. And I'm like, well, what is your type of guy? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so now that we understand that we do love, you know, we know what love is, or we are open to love, and we have a definition as it relates to how that works, and chivalry is definitely not out of the question. What about the maintenance of the, I don't even want to just say the relationship. Let's talk about the maintenance of the acquaintance part of it. How do we get to that point of knowing each other without just saying, nah, he ain't tall enough. No, he ain't brown enough. No, girl, you see the car he got out of? You know, that's like a 12-year-old car. You know what I mean? Like, how do we get beyond that to really get to who we are? You know, and you know, what does that look like? Anybody can jump in.
I talk a lot, so I ask a million questions right off the bat.
Because at the end of the day,
That's
yeah,
good.
because at the end
That's
of the
good.
day, at the end of
That's
the day,
good though.
yeah, at the end of the day, what is the criteria?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's right. Because me and Cam, we were raised differently. Like we're those type of guys that when we're in a relationship, or if we have wives or whatever the case may be, these women will soon see that these dudes is low maintenance. Like my mother taught us everything. We cook, we clean, we sew. I'm serious. We were braiding our own hair as little kids because my mom used to braid our hair and then we just learned on our own. She taught us everything because she was a single mom. So when I get into a relationship with a woman, she don't have to do nothing. And I'm so used to being, we both are so used to being independent to where a woman will soon see, well, damn, he don't really need me. But we do need you in a different way. We don't need you to cook for us. It'll be nice. We don't need you to wash our clothes. It'll be nice. We can do all that on our own because we're so used to doing, like when I do that stuff on my own, it's not because, you know, I don't want to wait. It comes natural to me. Now, I haven't met a woman yet in my 25 years. I'm only 25. But I haven't met a woman yet to step in and say, oh no, baby, I got that.
Yeah, because
Let me do this
exactly.
for you.
Because
Oh no.
If you wanted to,
Yeah, you know, you come home,
Yeah.
baby, sit down, you know, you need me to massage your feet, or you need me to, you know, I haven't met, you know, maybe one. But I just, so for me, I'm just low maintenance. This guy is too. We're not gonna put a lot of pressure on a woman to, because you got some guys out there that's chumps. And when in that word, when I say chumps, they can't do nothing. They expect their wives and their girlfriends to do everything for them. These dudes can't even make a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, we met them.
You know, so what me and Cam may bring to the table, you know, they may be like, oh, well, damn, this is easy. These guys, I mean, this is easy. It's like just putting a battery in them, let them go. Here, put this battery in, let them go.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, Cam?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be different when you meet a man, or even some women. There's a lot of women out there that, you know, they want you to be Superman because they're so used to being catered to. And then you got some independent women out there that take care of their stuff.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna. They take care. They've been taking care of their kids on their own. They may have had a husband, but this dude, he really didn't take care of the kids. But they doing it on their own. So they develop this kind of tough skin, and that's why sometimes we meet women, we run into women, and we think they got an attitude, but it's really because all the stuff they've gone through being independent women
Can I
and
tell you
taking care of the
about
kids.
that
Talk
type
to
of
me,
woman?
T. Talk to me.
Because we're not used to, like you said, we're so used to doing everything and getting things done, making it happen without, you know, our thing. I can speak for me and Tracy on this. You know, we're so used to doing everything by ourselves, and like you said, it's not that we have an attitude, but we don't go into a new friendship or relationship with expectations
Right.
of them. Now, if you know, like I said, like just going back to the guy who made my lunch for
Right,
me, whatever.
right.
I was so taken back because I was so used. I'm
Yeah.
so used to being that woman that I'm
Right.
do it. I'm
Right,
gonna do it. I didn't know
right,
that.
right.
I didn't, literally, when I said that gave him like 100 points.
No.
Because I didn't know, you know.
No, I get it.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I get it because I totally get
Right.
that because when a woman does something for me or we're the same way. We're like, oh damn, because we
It's
don't
like a
expect
bonus.
it,
It's like a
right?
bonus.
We like, oh, I'm like, wow. I mean, I never met a woman that, you know. I'm telling you, because you got so many women out here who they don't understand that if this is going to be my man, I'm going to have to nurture this man and cater to this man if I want him to love me for who I am. It ain't about just, you know, you with me. I'm cute, you know.
And on the
So-
flip side of that, I think I did it before the lunch thing, huh? The cookies.
Oh, you baked them cookies?
No, I just
No.
I did. It was after, huh? I just not melt him, but order some cookies.
that's cool.
To have
See?
a package for him when he got home.
See,
from work.
that-
And
see-
it was just because I know he had a long week at work. You know, we
That's
talked,
good.
you know, our text throughout the day, whatever. And I think that took him. Like,
I ain't used to that. It took me back too. You too,
Right.
okay? No, really, I'm not
Because
used to that. That's
I
beautiful.
appreciate a guy that's, if he's showing that he's thinking about me.
Right.
We don't have to literally talk every day because we all have
Right.
our own lives
Right.
and stuff. And we're not even at that stage yet. But just to send me a text, just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope you have
That's
a good
cool.
day. You know, how was your night and all this stuff. You know, I'm at work at 4:30 in the morning, so
Right,
my
right.
schedule is a little off
Right.
and stuff. So just little, like how you say you guys are low maintenance. I think we are probably because we're so used to doing things on
Right.
our own, and it's not about like I don't need you. Of course, we like nice things and
Right,
stuff.
right, of course.
But at the same time, we gonna make it. We really want it. We're gonna get it ourselves.
Yeah, no, I dig it.
You know what I'm saying?
I dig it. I dig it.
Is there a criteria for men to meet black men? You know, I don't want to just narrow it to that, even though we are black men. But is there a criteria that a black man has to meet, and what are those qualifications?
He can't be a felon.
I'll tell you
I'm
something.
serious.
But listen, no. Let me say, see, now watch this, T.
I
You
know.
already
Already
judging
started-
this guy when you don't know what this guy may have gotten himself into, or if it was, you know. So don't judge him because he may be.
But she not
a felon.
judging.
I
You
wasn't
got,
judging,
you got,
but I said that as a
you got
joke.
felons
But
out
he
there.
no,
asked
no.
for a criteria.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
her
But-
No, but
criteria.
I kind of said that
that's-
as a joke only because of my work field.
You the pigs? Oh, I mean,
No.
you the cops? No, I'm just messing
I
with
work
you.
at the sheriff's department. We'll talk later. We'll
Not on
talk later.
camera.
No, on camera. But no, I
we
say
got
that as
some
a
really
joke.
close buddies.
Okay,
I
okay.
mean,
Well, what I was gonna say is
But-
I know some felons that's multimillionaires and they're gentlemen. So when you see, that's one of the things that women always do. Oh,
he can't do that. He
right,
don't have
oh no, he got to be at least 6 feet.
He don't-
And this man that's 5'8" or 5'7" may be everything else she wants, but she ain't gonna date him because he's only this. Or that would be like, and I've met women like this. Okay, now how would you feel if you met a guy and he said, You got kids? Oh, I got 2. Oh, I don't date women with kids. That's his loss. But why would you say that, dude? Just because she got kids doesn't mean that she can't be the woman that you want her to be, and vice versa. So when women say things like that about like little stuff like that, I'll be like, yeah, you know. Now you,
right.
yeah, now if you'd have said, you know,
somebody want to talk to me because I had 2 kids.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been told that.
yeah. Now if you would have told, if you would have said, well, you know, he can't have bad breath. I get that. Or his or his hygiene. I get that.
Yeah.
Those are things that you say, that's non-negotiable.
Right.
But to say, well, I ain't gonna date her because she's 5'2" and I like women 5'4". You don't know. Go talk to me. Talk to me.
I think that, you know, you're brought up or society has you thinking that you want certain things, right? And height is one of them. So I can just talk about us because we talk all the time.
Okay.
And, you know, when we talk about dating guys, that's like one of the things at the top of the list.
Well, he can't be 5'2".
I'm 5'5".
Take that.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so it's funny because we, you know, both have gotten to this point and we're like, okay, well, I don't know how tall he is. He looks kind of tall, but maybe not. And so we had a real life situation and we were like, okay, fine. Let's just go with it because I think there's other qualities about this person and height doesn't really matter. It's not like I want to have kids with him so that my kid is 6 feet, 7 feet tall.
I think we
So
have
That's good.
So, you know, with that being said,
Well, for the
yes,
record,
of course.
Smaller guys was the best athletes. Just for the record.
Well, I mean,
Not just, no, I'm just playing.
I mean, you just have what you want, right? You just have that,
that's just
and you
preference.
kind of go
Right,
with
and I
it.
think
There's
that's
nothing wrong with preference.
But that's one of the things that it stops men and women when you start judging like that. You know, oh man, I can't date her because she was. I mean, or you say something like, you know, you meet some guy and he's making, you know, $300,000-$400,000 a year, $250,000, whatever, and then he meets a woman and she's be making 50 or 60. Oh, I'm not going to date her because she don't make 6 figures. I think that's BS. I'm one of those guys that'll date anybody as long as they good people and as long as they got some futuristic goals and they want something out of life, or if I can see myself growing with them in some sort of capacity. I don't care if they work at McDonald's and I can be a millionaire. I'll date them.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah. I've never judged.
Always been that way.
I've never judged.
I understand that,
I
but
don't think
is
it's
there
judgment,
anything wrong?
It's judging.
Right. No,
That's not
but is there
judgment.
anything wrong with like having a preference of like of a look? Because your looks is a first.
Unrealistic preference? Yeah.
Not unrealistic. Just like I'm not even talking about weight or even height.
Okay.
Let's just say some.
You just said it, the felons. Let's stay on that
No,
one.
we're gonna take that.
No,
one.
let's stick on the felon
Well,
part.
it depends on the felon because I mean it could have been self-defense and
It could have been anything. Yeah, it could have been anything.
Right.
But you don't say,
get
"Oh, I
off
can
of
do
that. No, I'm
Okay.
just saying looks. Just because you're attracted to somebody first, you have to
Right,
see
it's physical
somebody
first. Right.
So let's say someone is like, let's just say I'll just not me, but let's just say
Hypothetically, use the word hypothetically.
a female like want a dark skinned guy.
Okay.
And
We
she
in
come
now.
up.
No question. We have not given it back yet. We're in.
I'm pro dark.
Yeah,
skin.
we're in.
Right, and
We're
so,
But that's
but
a good
she
one.
come across a guy who approached her.
Okay.
That's light skinned, fair.
Okay,
very
right,
fair.
right.
Is it wrong if she just off the bat was like, now not send me because I've never done this.
No, go ahead.
If she does not want to talk to
No,
him,
because that's
pursue.
different. See, that's
How?
But how is that
I'm getting ready to
different?
tell you. Because how someone looks
Uh-huh.
versus their social status is different.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Because you may not be attracted to a light-skinned woman or a white guy or a Mexican guy, you only like black, that's different. But when you start talking about social status, or I'm not going to date you because you don't make enough money, or I'm not going to date you because you're a felon, or I'm not going to date, I'm talking about that stuff is wrong.
But I think,
and I've never judged.
I don't think
But
I've
I
ever
think-
judged anyone.
but I think this too. We don't know what the other person's history is. They could have dated several felons, and it didn't work out for them.
Right.
So now they are saying, "I'd rather not date a felon." because of their history. Is every felon the same? No. But if that's the point that you've reached, until you meet that felon and it proves that he is a stand-up guy or she's a stand-up guy, then you'll give that a shot. But I don't think right off, if someone say, hey, you know, yeah, I just want to let you know up front, you know, I've been incarcerated, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, I'm cool on you.
And
That's different.
And people, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna say this, and I've met women like this in their defense. First of all, Cameron, I'm not a felon. She's not a felon. She's not a felon, and he's not a felon. So let's get that straight. But anyway, I met women who, and I've had about 3 women tell me this, maybe 4, that they wouldn't date a guy if he's been locked up more than like 2 or 3 years. Because, they've said I wouldn't date because they feel like he's did something in prison to men. So they wouldn't do it. Now that, I can kind of dig that. Because in their mind, they're thinking like, he been in there doing whatever. But I've met women like that. And I always defend these guys. I'm like, well, no, maybe he didn't. Just because he was locked up for 5 years don't mean that he was with men or whatever. But in their minds, more than 2 years, they not doing it. B was like that. When we brought B on, she's not doing it.
Wow.
B's not doing it. Lisa's not doing it.
Wow.
They not doing it. They're like, nope. So
That's a stereotype.
But that's what I'm saying.
And I think that's what we talked about at the top of it. You know, what are these stereotypes? What are these misinterpretations? Because I think from a woman's viewpoint, she has a little bit more to deal with versus us being we're the hunters, we're the chasers. The woman is always trying to sort through the madness and the attention. Because I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's early in the morning. I don't care if you got your rollers in. I don't care if you got on your slippers. I don't care if you're just going out from your house to the car in your robe. Some guy's going to say, hey, baby. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm like, you got to give this a hard look. Meaning, you can't just judge the book by its cover.
And before I rudely interrupted you, did you lose your train of thought or do you remember it?
It's no point now.
You don't want. We want to hear it. Tika want to hear it.
No,
go ahead.
Your girl just said, "Go ahead, Tracy." Your girl said, "Go ahead,
I need
Tracy."
to clear up this felon thing. I
have
have
It is about a felon.
Okay, let's talk about it.
You want to go first? Because I have some.
So
let's talk about it.
So we have a friend.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah, that's story.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she's on a dating site, and she met a guy, and she really liked him.
Sex offender.
No, he wasn't a sex offender.
Okay.
I believe I can't remember what he did. But anyway, once she found out that he was an ex-con,
Okay.
she was like, Trace, what do I do? What
Keep
what
dating
should I
him?
do? Okay, so you said keep dating him.
Yeah.
So I know our life, right? I know her life, my life. I know who she hangs out with, per se.
Right.
So my first thought is
Abort.
Tika said, "Abort the mission." You hear that, Cam? You hear that? Abort. She said, "Abort."
We said abort.
Wow.
I mean, not us. Is the story.
You have to stop
Shut
talking
it
to him.
Okay.
You gotta stop. We don't know. You have my kid. You have her kid. We gotta abort this mission
Why?
right now
I mean, no, but why though?
because it's the unknown.
Okay, what if your husband, hypothetically, or your husband hypothetically came over to the house acting crazy, smacked you twice, but he didn't leave no marks on you, and then you turn around and stabbed his ass, and then you catch a felony.
For the record, I don't have a husband.
No, but I'm just saying.
Right.
I use the word hypothetically. So what do you do?
It was self-defense.
Well, okay, so some felons, like Cameron was saying, depending on the severity or whatever the felon may be. Now, I can understand if you met a guy and he's registered on Megan's law, but you don't know what he did. It could have been someone older, someone. I can kind of get that. You'd be like, ooh, This guy's on
we're
nagging law,
right
sex
there
offender.
about that. We don't really know everything. We only know
Right.
what
It's the
he's
surface.
giving
Right.
us.
It's
the
the-
surface.
So
It's
that's
early.
enough for us to say.
Y'all
abort
cold.
the
Right,
Y'all
so
cold.
piggyback
Y'all
on
cold.
that and
Y'all
to clear
cold. Y'all
myself
cold blooded.
about this felon thing and me not
Y'all
dating.
cold blooded.
I'm gonna go look before I was married. I dated this guy who was a few years older than me. I was still in high school. He was already in college playing football.
So he was a felon right there? No, I'm just joking.
All right. Well, no. I just thought about what you said.
Well, no, really. He was
I was a senior, and he was. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah,
let's
right.
get to
Abort.
right, abort. But no. I have his name tattooed on me. It's covered up, but he ended up getting a picture of me tattooed on his chest.
Okay.
We were both young. He ended up going
Love.
in love, right? But when I got the tattoo, he was locked up.
Okay.
He had made a mistake with his cousin and whatever, and all this stuff. I stayed with him without like my mom knowing
Right,
or
right.
whatever. And she ended up finding a letter.
Right.
Sent the letter to my house. Right. I gave him P.O. box. They sent it to my house. But
Right.
anyway, but that goes to show like I stayed with him, but and I ended up going to college and stuff and stayed with him that first year. We didn't break up because because he was a felon or because I felt that, he's going to mess up my life. I was young and I was like, I'm going to stick with him. I was close to his mom and his family and everything. We broke up because when his mom and I went to go visit him, we couldn't see him because he already had a visitor that day.
Oh.
Right. So
So you saying because you're a felon? So you saying because you're a felon, he was cheating?
No, I'm
Come on,
saying
T.
my point is,
Come on,
I
T.
say all that to say, I wouldn't date nobody that that's locked up or no, that wasn't a I didn't break up with him just because I went to his court hearings with him,
Okay.
and all that stuff.
So why'd you say that then?
Because I want you to know that.
Because that's a deal breaker.
I was
The way you
joking,
said that,
yeah.
like, that's a deal breaker.
No,
Felon,
it was a joke.
Oh, okay.
As I said it, as soon as he asked the question.
All right, talk to him, Karen. What you got up for?
Well, no, I understand the perspective of, you want to lay out the land. You want to make sure everything is safe, because at some point your feelings develop, right? And you kind of dig in the person or whatever, but you're also looking at the future. What will our future look like? Because you start to open up and you learn more. Now you got more to work with. Now it's really the ball is in your court. Hey, I'm a felon. It happened like this. It was self-defense. It was, hey, whatever. It's on the table. What you gonna do? So I think a lot of times, like he was saying, some women just say, you know what, I'm aboard this mission. I'm good. I don't even want to go that route. Because I'm not a felon, but there's been things where it just, it was like with my kids, it was like, no, I'm cool.
And maybe you've been down that
And I
road
was like,
before,
okay.
not necessarily with a felon, but maybe you saw something, he's a felon, you've been down that road with somebody
Right.
else
That's what I'm
in a
saying,
similar
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And I think that right now, especially at our age, we're not just dating for ourselves. We're dating with our kids in mind.
Okay.
At least as far as female. We are, because we have to keep that in mind. Like, we haven't been married after our first marriage. You know what I'm saying? So dating now is different than before I was married. You know what I'm saying? I was dating I was young, I was just dating or whatever. Now
You're
today.
still young, right?
Yes, of course. I'm 24, you're 25,
Exactly.
I'm 24. So I'm just
Exactly.
saying. But I'm dating with my kids in mind. Like, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I have to make sure I protect my boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
who you bring around
so
your
like
kids?
the situation with our friend when we told her abort the mission, it was because.
But she could have aborted Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but-
That's what I'm saying. You could have
But
aborted.
it's a little
she-
more to that.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
that story.
Because she
Yeah.
is more, she goes all in too soon.
Right.
Oh, I see
so
what you're
we
saying.
have to reel her
we
in.
Okay, I
gotta
see what you're
kind
saying.
of like, yeah,
falls.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
saying.
and what we appreciate about her, she'll tell us right off the back
Okay.
about who she meet, but she likes hard.
Oh, okay. She loves hard.
No,
And
she
she
likes
moves
hard and
fast.
then love
Yeah.
hard. the
No,
next
I get it.
minute.
I mean,
You know what
I got friends
Right.
like that. I
Exactly.
know
So we
guys
gotta
like
have
that.
to
They
make
fall in
sure-
love in 2 dates, and but they go they
Yes,
they
go
yeah.
all
I
in
get it.
all
I
the
get it.
time.
I get it.
Which she loves love, which is good because
Okay.
I'm a hopeless romantic myself, but we have to reel her in. Sometimes,
Okay, I
so,
got it.
Yeah.
My last question, and then I'll give it to Charlie Mack before we start the next segment, is this. We understand that we're dealing with a dynamic that society has systemically lasered this upon our backs, right? The black man is this, thus, and so, right? We're dealing with this every day as black men, even our sons, our boys. Society see them as black men. I don't care if they're 6, 10, or 15. This is how America sees our male children, right? So with that, we're up against all of this. We're in a relationship with this beautiful, gorgeous, sculptured black goddess as a woman, right? But for some reason, we get the flack in the aftermath of what is purely suggested more so than what is factual between us, and we're already dealing with society. How do you coexist in that relationship with your man? How do you coexist? You know, because this, and you can speak to this too. When women, and I'm not putting a spin on it, I'm just saying, when women have their girlfriends, how do you coexist with your girlfriends within your relationship? What you do?
I think there's a place for both.
It better be. No, just
No. I mean, because
Yeah, take us up
Tika not
there.
going nowhere.
because no, I'm just saying.
Take us up there.
At the end of the day, we see the girls on girl trips.
Right.
We you know.
Are you against them going on girls' trips?
No, y'all speak to that.
I think no, seriously. I think if you have a great relationship with that man and you're upfront, you're honest, you're supporting him, you're taking care of him, you're making sure he's the priority.
Haven't given him any reason to doubt.
Yeah, no reason to doubt. And you say, hey babe, you know, my girls and I want to go do this on this particular date. Do you have a problem with that? Do we have something planned? Is there something that you wanted to do instead? And you're talking about it. It's not like you're gonna all of a sudden say, oh, my girls and I are going blah blah blah. I don't care what you think. So I think it's all in how you approach it and how you set it up in your relationship from the beginning.
Let me speak on that.
No, I mean because what you said is logical. What we see is opposite.